Hey, I'm Derek Sisterhen, host of PastDueRadio.com. A couple of years ago, we put out a video called The Dark Side of Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps, and it's been really interesting to see some of the feedback and the conversations that has sparked out there on YouTube and through some of the other social media outlets out there. At the time that we created that video, it was right after engaging with a few people that had been so militant and so adamant about following those baby steps that it was actually causing problems for some of their relationships in their family. They had a situation where here's one member steamrolling their way through the baby steps and winding up down the road with animosity and resentfulness on the part of a spouse, and that just wasn't good. So we targeted that video specifically at that small fraction of people that do take that approach. Now here's the truth. I love the baby steps. I think they're fantastic because just like any good plan, it begins with the end in mind. So if you're familiar with these steps, you know that we start with putting some savings in place and then working through getting rid of the debt, because it's not just a financial burden, it's an emotional burden. It really does imprison us. It puts us in bondage and it prevents us from living the life that we truly can live. Then we go from there into building up some savings further, and that's where we wind up building wealth for the long haul. But this is the point. It's not about just building wealth to see how big our bank accounts can get or what the balances are in our retirement plans. That's not the point. The point of the baby steps is to culminate at step 7, give a bunch of it away. Live a life of generosity, live a life of significance, and a life that means something in the lives of others. And it's so interesting for me to really grasp that. And I think as we're working through these baby steps, if you're in step 1 or 2, or whether you might be on step 6 or 7, to really take hold of the fact that you can have that kind of impact, a significant impact, a meaningful impact on lives that you wouldn't have otherwise been able to touch. That you can make lives better around you, you can improve those in your community, and you can also improve the lives of those around the world. And that, to me, is the very bright side of Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps. You want to keep talking about it? Let's do so over at PastDueRadio.com.